The following opinions are solely those of BoatTEST.com and its test captain. The Sailfish 325DC was designed to be both a well-equipped fishing machine and a boat for comfortable family cruising and water sports. At 34 feet long with a 10-foot beam, the 325DC is the biggest dual-console model that Sailfish builds. She's designed to meet the fishing and recreational needs of an active boating family. For convenient boarding, remove the snap-down cushion on the cockpit jump seat to make it easy to step aboard from a dock. Aft to starboard, there's a transom door just ahead of the 4-step stainless steel boarding ladder in its own locker. There's a remote control for the stereo in the passageway from the stern to the cockpit. Just ahead, the battery switches are in this locker. When the fish are biting, the cockpit has nearly 56 square feet of space for anglers to pull in the day's catch. Deck height is 2 feet 6 inches, and there are combing panels to lean against. In each aft corner of the self-bailing cockpit, these hinged covers protect the drains from clogging with debris. Across the 325DC's stern is a mix of gear, including a freshwater shower, 4 rod holders, a retractable ski tow, and in the port aft corner, the livewell, which has an aeration system. All of this is standard equipment. This insulated locker in the cockpit provides a place to keep fish ice down for the trip home, and just above, push a button and the entire aft seat structure raises on an electro-hydraulic ram to provide access to pumps and other mechanical systems. When it comes time for entertaining, Sailfish has provided 3 standard fold-down seats with a 4th one optional to comfortably handle at least 7 guests for a cocktail party or an onboard lunch at anchor, and a table can be clipped in place to port. To starboard, we find a large galley with Corian countertop that has plenty of space. There's a built-in waste receptacle, 3 storage drawers, and a large storage compartment where an optional grill can be installed. Below is an isotherm refrigerator. Fishermen will use this console as a bait prep station. Across from the wet bar, this console on the back of the companion seat has a large glove box with a clear hatch. Inside, there's a 12-volt plug and a soft mat to cushion the ride for the contents. This locker in the base of the glove box cabinet contains the cockpit and bow tables and has extra space for other gear. The helm has side-by-side seats with fold-up bolsters, and the angled footrest adds extra comfort. The armrests also fold up and lock in place with a push-button latch. On the dash, our test boat was equipped with Mercury SmartCraft Vessel View screen to starboard and a Garmin GPS Map 7612 chart plotter with a 12-inch screen. Below, there's a compartment with soft foam padding and a protected USB port. Atop the dash, there is a Ritchie compass. An example of Sailfish's intelligent ergonomics approach to laying out the dash, the accessory switches are in a dedicated panel to port and they light up when activated. Also notice a darkly upholstered eyebrow that shades the dash. The digital shift and throttle controls are to starboard with the trim tab switches just ahead. There are also 2 cup holders after the controls. We appreciate that Sailfish provided this large in-deck locker, but owners should be aware that the driver's seat armrest must be folded up before opening the locker. Across from the helm, the companion seat is extra wide. There is storage outboard, and this expandable net will help keep items in place. The cup holder is in convenient reach. This hatch ahead of the companion seat opens to the 325DC sitting room. Inside, we found a small lounge, a screened opening port, and this storage area where Sailfish can install an optional microwave oven. Just below, there's a sink and a Corian countertop. Moving into the 325DC's bow, there is an opening center section of the tempered glass windshield, and below we have the usual air dam that can be closed off. For forward-facing travel, the backrests in the bow are at a comfortable angle. The bow table and leg were easy to retrieve from the locker in the cockpit and install in this bracket. There are 2 large self-draining compartments forward that can be used as fish boxes or for general storage. As we saw throughout the boat, the hatch for the in-floor bow locker is insulated on the underside and it opens on a stainless steel strut. The 25-quart cooler in the bow is insulated and it drains overboard, but we'd like to see at least 1 drain to prevent water buildup in the channel. In the foredeck, the windlass is part of an extensive standard equipment list on the 325DC. Note that there is a cleat to tie off the anchor rod and an access plate to the rope locker. We like the through-the-stem anchor system. This hatch next to the aft starboard backrest in the bow opens the 325DC's private head. Inside, Sailfish provides a marine toilet, a sink and a Corian countertop, and an opening screened port. The glove box style hatch above the toilet provides access to the helm rigging. The hardtop with a powder-coated frame comes standard. It covers at least half of the cockpit and it's equipped with docking and courtesy lights, life jacket storage, and mounting plates for outriggers. Now let's see how the 325DC performs. Sailfish offers the boat with twin outboards from Yamaha and Mercury up to 700 horsepower total. We tested with twin 300 horsepower Mercury Verado supercharged 4-stroke outboards, turning Mercury Revolution 4 14 5/8 by 19-inch 4-blade stainless steel propellers through 1.85 to 1 reductions. Our test model weighed an estimated 12,823 pounds, and we ran in 15-knot winds, hitting a top speed of 53.1 miles per hour at 5,500 RPM. Best cruise came at 3,500 RPM, where the boat ran 27.8 miles per hour and burned 17.1 gallons per hour, giving the 325DC a range of 434 miles with 10% of the boat's 297-gallon fuel capacity in reserve. In acceleration tests, we planed off and hit 20 miles per hour in 4.5 seconds and reached 30 miles per hour in 7 seconds. The 325DC rides on Sailfish's variable degree stepped hull that has a sharp 24-degree deadrise at the keel that flares out to slightly flatter at the chines. There is a small pad at the keel to improve efficiency. The 325DC is built with all composite construction using coring materials for lightweight and strength, Kevlar in the keel and transom corners, and carbon fiber placed athwartships to keep the deck solid. In turns, we felt the boat was quite nimble for her size. In our windy test conditions, the 325DC held her course well. The flared bow knocked down the chop and spray, keeping the forward seating area dry. The enclosed lounge, the forward access head, the companion seat at the helm, the hardtop for sun and rain protection, and the fold-down aft seating all make the 325 an excellent family cruiser. And that wraps up our evaluation of the Sailfish 325DC. For BoatTEST.com, I'm Eric Colby.